it's been 6 days since devastating back-to-back earthquakes hit large parts of Turkey and Syria, with the death toll now having surpassed 28,000.
Well, an appeal by the Disasters Emergency Committee has so far raised more than £50 million for survivors who are facing homelessness as rescue efforts continue.
Well, we can now cross live to the head of Turkish broadcaster TRT World, Yusuf Erim, who's in Istanbul. Thank you very much for joining us this morning, Yusuf. So we're nearly 6 days in now. Just tell us what the situation is now.
Well, the situation right now is the country is still trying to heal its wounds. Over 12,000 collapsed buildings, and rescue crews over the past 6 days have been sifting through the rubble, trying to save as many lives as possible. And we've seen a lot of heroic rescue operations, many lives saved, many miracles, we can call it. Just last night, a baby was saved more than 120 hours after being in the rubble. But it looks like the rescue operation will probably wrap up in the next 2 to 3 days, as the limits of the human body and the resilience of the human body just can't deal with such a prolonged period under the rubble in sub-zero temperatures. And we're going to see more of a laser focus on the recovery and the relief effort. As you stated, probably over 1 million homeless. They have immediate needs, immediate shelter needs, food needs, finance needs, clothing needs. And this is what the Turkish government's going to be focused on. And this is most likely what international aid will be geared towards, to being able to meet the necessities of these million or so survivors who now will need direct aid from the government and the international community.
And then we've got to ask, amidst all of this and everything that Turkey is going through, we imagine something similar in northern parts of Syria, but of course we're getting very little information in terms of that aid. Of course, we know there is a sort of passageway open, but even so, I mean, they're not getting the support that ordinarily you would expect, and simply because of the way the Syrian government is behaving.
Exactly. I mean, normally in this type of situation, the first one to support northern Syria would have been the Turks. But right now, they're in no position to support anybody. They need to support themselves. And yesterday morning, about 14 UN trucks crossed the Bab al-Hawa crossing. But I mean, 14 trucks is barely humanitarian aid. The situation's very grim in northern Syria. We can't even really get updated death toll figures from the region, just because they are really overwhelmed. You're talking about an area that's been through a civil war for the past decade, so they have very limited resources. The Syrian dictator Bashar al-Assad trying to use this opportunity to be able to monopolize the aid coming to his country. That's not saying that regime areas weren't affected by the earthquake. They were, but the main areas affected by the earthquake were all opposition-held areas. And unfortunately, they're not getting the aid that is being given to the Syrian government. They're withholding it from opposition areas. There's been problems with the UN crossings, the border crossings coming from Turkey into Syria. So that's a huge situation, a huge humanitarian drama right now unfolding in that region.
We've been hearing of some unrest that's hampered actually some of the rescue operation. Can you just tell us a bit more about that?
Now, of course, anytime you have a natural disaster like this, and this creates a void or an absence of security services in the region, when people who see an opportunity to feel that the state has been weakened, there has been instances of looting. There have been instances of deception, of con, of fraud in the area. But the Turkish president, in his last two comments and enacting a state of emergency, he said that now the military has taken control of security of the region. So there's quite a significant military presence now in the earthquake-affected areas. So there have been instances of looting. They've been sporadic, not any type of a mass looting scene that you would see in these types of disasters. But again, he's stated in his recent comments, the Turkish president, that this will be a very heavy crackdown on any type of looting in the region, that he's not going to allow law and order to deteriorate in the southern quarter of the country.